This team makes me want to pull my hair out, dropping a series to the last place Marlins team. Now, don't get me wrong, they had really good at-bats and facing out Contra, who's getting back on track after a rough beginning as he returned from Tommy John surgery. That's not necessarily easy, but I can count on one hand how many times the offense has picked up the pitching. It's just ridiculous. You got, feels like so many semi-automatic outs right now in the lineup that when you got Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Ozuna, and Drake Baldwin, and then after that it's like, that's not good. That is not good, and it's not sustainable, and it's annoying, and I know the guys are frustrated, but if you can't even sniff putting pressure on teams constantly like the Marlins did to Bryce Elder today and in the 2 games that they won, like, we really... you're not going to go anywhere, and this is a classic momentum stunter. If you want a class in that, watch the 2025 Atlanta Braves season. Because we got off to a good start, double by Ronald blistered, and then a single by Riley, and 2 near homers by Matteo and Marcell Ozuna, but the dimensions of Marlins Park helped out there, so only able to get 1, and then Bryce Elder was able to escape, runner at third, 2 outs. Thought it was going to be like Grant Holmes yesterday, no such luck, but in the second gave up a meatball cutter homer to Stowers, was able to settle it back in after that. In the third, first and second, no outs, Ronald single, Matt walk, strikeout by Riley on the down and away slider. Hit me if you've seen that one before. And then frozen on 99. That was actually a really good pitch sequence to Ozuna. Drake Baldwin injected it back up the middle for a 2-1. And also we wasted a leadoff double by Ozzie in the second, so we couldn't add on there. And then in the third, Xavier Edwards walk, 2 outs. I really didn't like the pitch sequence to Otto Lopez after Bryce Elder got ahead. 1-2 on down and away pitches. He went back to the well one too many times. He left it too far in the zone. I know he wanted to go down and away, but Otto Lopez was able to adjust, single up the middle to make it 2-2. And then the fifth kind of got away from Bryce. A chalk-kissing triple down the line against Jesus Sanchez on the down and in slider. That's not where you want it to a lefty because they can do that damage. And then with the infield in, Xavier Edwards was able to punch it through the hole. We were able to get a big strikeout of Kyle Stowers with nasty changeups. With 2 outs, you thought you might be able to limit the damage, but then a hanging slider to Dane Myers, RBI single to make it 4-2. And then in the 6th, we were able to get back on the board with a Drake Baldwin really good plate appearance walk, 8-9 pitches, Ozzie single, and then Verdugo got lucky that Eric Wagaman didn't go home to cut down the run. Instead, tried to beat it out. So 4-3. I have no clue why Bryce Elder went back out there and for the 6th. I understand that it was the bottom of the order, but that was not good at all. Promptly gave up a leadoff double to Nick Fortes, and then Dylan Dodd came in, had a really good 87 changeup with a runner at third after they executed the sacrifice bunt. But with the infield in, there was nothing we could do. Xavier Edwards put the ball in play, so it's 5-3. And then we pretty much went without a whimper. Got a leadoff single for Verdugo in the 9th, but Harris promptly hit into a pitcher's best friend, Twin Killing. Murphy struck out. We did have a 2-out walk in the 7th by Matteo, but nothing to show for it. Gosh, this team is so annoying in so many ways, but I love it in so many ways. At least the pitching for the most part, but they're not going to be perfect every single game. The offense has to find something. There needs to be a magic juice or something. Carlos Rodriguez would be nice until Jurickson Profar is available. I don't know. I know Money Mike has struggled mightily and hasn't walked in 113 plate appearances, which seems insane, but I don't see us sending him down. Even though I would understand it if we did it, but his defense is so amazing, I don't know. As always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, even though they're annoying. As always, go Braves, champions forever.